Yeah, hello everyone. I think in our last class we have done till symmetry, and I said I'll be taking about germinal layers in my next class. So let us begin with this. When I'm talking about germinal layers, what are these germinal layers? Germinal layers are nothing but the layers that are formed at the embryonic stages during the process of gastrulation. During the process of gastrulation, these are called as your germinal layers. Yes, layers of cells which new tissues is constantly formed during the process of fertilization, I can say. So, depending upon the formation of germinal layers, organisms are classified either diploblastic or triploblastic. You can see here two different pictures given here. One picture shows the organisms having only just two germinal layers. These are the embryonic stages, formation of blastocele, blastula, gastrula. During gastrulation only, mesoderm, ectoderm, and endoderm are formed. In some organisms, there is no mesoderm. You can just see mesoglia. What is mesoglia? Mesoglia is undifferentiated mass of cells and that does not have uh, any proper cells, only just a layer of gel or jelly layer. Yeah, here further you can see in detail. A diploblastic animal have only two layers. The outermost ectoderm, that is grey in color, and the innermost endoderm, the pink color you see here. And the pale color, that is the non-living layer that does not differentiate it into any cells but only just like a jelly-like layer called as mesoglia is present. And you can see this in cnidarians and ctenophora. Whereas talking about platyhelminthes, aschelminthes, nematihelminthes and all higher organisms till the chordates, even human beings possess three germinal layers. Yeah, during the formation ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So during gastrulation, these germinal layers only further develop into different organs. Like ectoderm forms your brain, it forms your nervous system, endoderm forms your kidneys, endoderm forms your tissues, especially your digestive system, whereas mesoderm forms your kidneys, your excretory system, and so on. You'll be learning in detail about that. Coming on to the next of the basis of classification is the coelom. What is coelom? Coelom is the body cavity. Yeah, here I think, coelom is the body cavity. And when I'm talking about coelom is lined by the mesoderm. Yeah, you can see the mesoderm here. So it is lined by the mesoderm further to form a small gap or a small separation that separates the body wall from your digestive system. Yeah, the body wall, it gets separated from the digestive system from an open area, what we call it as body cavity or the coelom. And based on the nature of this coelom, again animals are classified either they are acoelomate, they are coelomate, or they are pseudocoelomate. Talking about what is this coelom and how the organisms got differentiated. Let us learn in detail. Yeah, you can see here acoelomate, there is no coelom at all. Acoelomate organisms are the organisms that does not possess any coelomic cavity. Then the body wall and the digestive cavity is filled just with a matrix. Just filled with a matrix. You can specially see this kind of organisms. Mostly they are poriferans, they are coelenterate, and they are platyhelminthes, where you cannot see any body cavity. Coming on to pseudocoelomate. Pseudocoelomate are the organisms where the body cavity is not lined by the mesoderm. Mesoderm is like scattered pouches. Scattered pouches. So true coelom is not present here. So the blastocyst is partially filled with mesodermal cells. Yeah. And the body cavity is lined by mesoderm only towards the body wall. And the mesoderm is not present towards the gut. That is only the difference. Yeah, I repeat. Pseudocoelomate organisms are the organism where there is no true coelom. The blastocyst is partly filled with mesodermal cells and the body cavity is lined by mesoderm only towards the body wall. But there is no mesoderm towards the gut. And the examples of these are Ascalmenthes, that is Nematihelminthes, you can talk, roundworms, and all comes under that. Talking about eucoelomate organisms, or you can call them as true coelom, these animals have a true coelomic cavity. And the coelom is lined by mesoderm both on the gut and also on the body wall. That means both sides. And the blastocyst is present in the gastrula. That gets completely replaced by a true coelom. And the body organs are suspended in the coelom that is filled with, yes, that is filled with the fluid. And further, you can see some division, that is under eucoelomate organisms only. Here it is not given, but you can see schizocoelomate and enterocoelom. I'll be discussing about that. But if you see here, when we cut the body, if you want to check the body wall and the digestive tract, you can see the matrix. But here if you cut, you can see the mesoderm with scattered pouches here in pseudocoelomate. Whereas in acoelomate, you can see a peritoneal layer that is filled with coelomic fluid and where the organisms are embedded. This is about the coelom. You can see here. What is the function of the coelom, ma'am? What's that it does? It accommodates all the visceral important organs in our body, keep the organs in its position, and the coelomic fluid reduces the friction between these visceral organs, like that your digestive system, your brain, your all other things. And it also, the coelom also act as a shock absorber. Exactly. Coming on to schizocoelom. When I'm talking about schizocoelomate, as I think it's not given here, yeah, schizocoelomate are the organisms where the body cavity or coelom originates from the splitting of the mesoderm. Whereas in enterocoelom, the coelom is formed from the fusion of internal outgrowths of the, what I can say, archenteron. What is this archenteron? Archenteron are nothing but the pinches off and the fuses from the coelomic line by the mesoderm. Where do you see? Enterocoelers are all the chordates. That means V comes under enterocoelom. Schizocoelomates are the animals that are annelids, arthropods and mollusks. They have schizocoelom. Under eucoelomate, organisms are classified into two. Let me check here if I can check schizocoelom and enterocoelom. I just want to show you the image, the picture of this schizocoelom and enterocoelom. Yeah, you can see here what's the difference between the schizocoelom and the enterocoelom. Yeah, I think not this one. Yeah, you can see here. This is the archenteron. You can see here, this is the coelom, mesoderm and the blastopore. So the mouth and anus, presence of protostome, the cleavage that occurs. So you will be learning this also in detail. So this is about enterocoelom and schizo, the difference between the enterocoelom and the schizocoelom. Spiral cleavage you have here, 8 cell stage, you can see where gastrulation occurs and formation of, you can see, deuterostome, you call it as, right? And when radical coelom, yeah, this is the radical cleavage that occurs, the mesoderm, birds, and deuterostome, the mouth and the anus. So here the mouth is placed at the top and anus at the bottom. Whereas in the previous picture that we have seen, you can see here anus is at the top and mouth is at the bottom. So this is the major difference between the enterocoelom and the schizocoelom. So I think I'll be stopping till here and we'll be continuing in our next class.